How are you?
Hey.
Great. Happy New
New
Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
It's now 2021. New year, new us.
Yes.
It's going to be great.
That's right. I woke up on January 1st and I was like, oh my God, reset. Everything's back to normal.
Exactly.
Is it though?
Nothing changed at all.
Nothing changed at all. But it can in our heads. Well, we'll keep pushing through. So for those of us joining us again, I'm Lauren. I'm the Director of Development here at PassionFlix.
I'm Allie. I'm the Director of Marketing and PR.
And I'm Tosca. I am the founder and CEO of PassionFlix. And occasionally I direct movies and series.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Welcome to season 2 of PassionPod.
Season 2. Woohoo!
Can't believe it.
Yeah, we're happy to be back, and it's we're excited to share some of what we've been up to and what's to come. So this is going to be kind of an updates podcast with just the three of us, but I'm excited. I haven't talked to you ladies in so long, it feels like.
I know.
I haven't actually even seen you, Lauren, because
I know.
all the way through to the end of last year, we were making so many shows, and I was just like, I didn't see anybody. Also, I was covered in a mask and
covered in a mask, yeah. But you were on set, so I was sometimes in the office all by myself because everybody else was everywhere, or I was working from home. Yeah, it's been a wild end of 2020 into 2021.
This year.
Yeah. It was a year. But I thought it'd be cool to start off with some development updates, and then we can go into more. We're very excited that we recently optioned Lick by Kylie Scott. That's going to be amazing because her stage dive series is fantastic. And a lot of people have been wondering if we're going to be optioning the other books of the series, and the answer is we don't know yet, but we're going to see. We've just optioned the first one for now, but we're super excited about it.
And it's obviously our dream and wish that we'd be able to adapt all of these books. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of, putting our best foot forward one at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Exactly. I've loved the reaction. People are excited.
It's great though. It's such a fun read and, great story. So
I think I read the book in 4 hours. Like I just banged it out. It was so good. So I'm super excited for us to be bringing those characters to life. That's the biggest update I have in terms of I'm looking at more series, and we are working on another quickie maybe to come soon. And we have an exciting other book announcement coming out on Tuesday. So keep your eyes peeled for more news from us in terms of what's coming soon. And Allie, how about you? What have you been up to?
A lot. As everyone knows now at this point, or most people know, we did decide to postpone PassionCon. It was kind of sad, but also kind of exciting. It's not the kind of event you want to do socially distanced. And we realized we have so many people coming from different countries that there could be the possibility that they wouldn't be able to join us. And that just didn't sound fun. So we decided to move it to May of 2022, May 6th through 8th. It's going to be amazing. And actually, right when we announced the new dates, we sold more tickets, and people were really excited. Yeah, I talked to a few people that said they weren't originally going to be able to go because, they have to pay for it. A lot of people have been out of work, and now it gives them time to save up. So I'm excited about that. I think it's
really awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
What an incredible weekend it's going to be after all that we've gone through. And, not to put women or in a special boat here, but I think that we've had to tackle a lot during this whole COVID situation. And so to end it with a weekend of just luxury and fun with the girls, it's going
to be fantastic.
It's going to be great. And the authors that I've talked to, because there's a few that we haven't even announced yet that everyone's going to be excited about, but they are also very relieved that we've moved it, because I think we were going to have some cancellations otherwise. So I'm so excited. This is going to be amazing. And I'm planning with our agency partner right now to get everything in place. It's going to be awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. And then a couple other things
during the whole thing, lots of massages and eating food and drinking wine.
Oh, sounds amazing. A couple other things I know, people have been asking about the Gabriels Inferno DVDs, and we are working on those. We'll have an update very soon, but we're in the process. So we will have a complete set of all 3 parts coming out So that's exciting.
And the idea on that is also to have all the subtitles as well, right?
Yes, all the subtitles will be on there. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's good. I know a lot of people
You
want
still get
that.
people ordering the Driven DVDs. It's crazy.
Yes.
It's awesome.
And then those Driven season 2 calendars, had no idea those would sell out so fast.
For people who don't know, it took us an entire year to sell some of our other calendars, and this round of calendars sold out in like 3 hours.
Yeah. It was so funny because we were discussing it. Ellie and I were discussing it over the holiday, and I'm like, wow, do you think people would want just a Driven DVD, a Driven calendar? And we're like, yeah, we think so. These are great pictures. And, you know, the lines of sassy that are on them. I was like, oh, it's a little risque. Swearing. I'm like, oh, if Christy's okay with it, then I'm okay with it.
Christy's like, yep.
Yeah, Christy's like, perfect. And I was like, okay. And sold out in 3 hours.
Yeah.
So, thank you, everybody. That's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. I hope everyone loves the photos. I know they will. They're I think probably 99% of them have not been seen yet. So that's
Sweet.
cool.
Yeah.
And we have more coming in. So we did place an order. They're already packaged up at the warehouse they've been at, and they should be on their way to California. So
Awesome.
we will get those out.
Yeah, it was actually funny. So all of us, you know, when it comes to the PassionFlix office, none of us actually go in there at any of the same times. And so we sort of like rotate throughout the week as to, you know, whoever needs to go in there to do work. And I went in on Monday. I went in on Monday. And I walk in, I was like, there's a new calendar on my wall, and I assume that's Lauren.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And I saw the whole thing for the first time, and it was beautiful, really nicely done.
Yeah, I went in on Sunday to ship some orders because I had nothing else to do. And so I tidied up the office a little bit. It's been a while. I went home for Christmas, so I didn't get to go in really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't been in since before Christmas. And then Margie and I were talking when I chatted with her the other day, and I said, I don't even know what the alarm code is anymore. I have to be careful.
To text me.
I had to text Lauren. Yeah, that was awkward.
It was funny though. I was like, I remember you picked this alarm code too. That was the funniest part.
And I, obviously
Yeah.
depressed it.
It's been a while. It makes sense.
Yeah. Well, Tosca, you've had a lot going on. I know you just saw the first cut of Wicked. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Tell us everything.
Yeah, tell us everything.
Well, it was really great. You know, there are times so a first cut is generally speaking kind of rough. It's not rough. It's the first cut that the director will present to me, so that, you know, they've delivered it to the extent that they think is really great, and they just need those final notes to you know, shape it up and make sure it follows our mandate. And so Taryn and Lauren, her editor, came in and showed it to me and Margie, and it was really great. I mean, there were moments when I was watching it and I was like, oh, wow, this is a real action movie, like paranormal action movie. And that's fun, right? For us. I was like, that's cool. And so, you know, so the process is pretty tricky with this one. So they will show us another cut at the end of next week. And then the following week, I will show it to everybody else at PassionFlix. So we'll see it, Margie and I will see it end of next week, and then we'll give them a few more notes probably. And then we'll show it to Lauren and Allie and Michael. You know, my favorite thing, of course, is showing it to Lauren, because I mean,
it's everyone's favorite thing.
Why is it your favorite thing?
It's the best. It's the best thing ever. She'll sit there and she'll be like watching, and then she's just like, ooh.
You guys, I promise I will record some of the reactions.
Oh, it's so awesome.
I'm recording it. I will record a few clips for everyone.
It's so great.
Oh no. Honestly, I'm glad I have the outlet of PassionFlix movies and what we do here to be able to be that way as an audience member, because if you go to a movie theater, you're going to get kicked out if you make verbal noises like that. And whenever I watch movies with my friends, they're like, Lauren, shush. So it's nice. It's nice to be able to do it with you ladies.
Yeah,
because these movies make me have feelings.
And this one definitely will make you have feelings. I mean, obviously, Ren and Ivy, I say obviously, but I mean, Ren and Ivy in the books have a really great chemistry, a really great connection, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite funny the way that Liam delivers Ren's lines, because, you know, they're pretty sassy at times. We're like, just, you know, talking about how sweet she is and things like that. And, you know, not, you know, I'm like, At times I was like, wow, that line's in there. Okay. And then Anna as Ivy, just the way that she responds to him is just so genuine and funny and relatable. And so it's great. It's great to see the two of them together. Tink, of course, is hilarious. You know, I loved the prince when he came onto the screen. It was like, wow. Well, that happened. And
I got to be there when they filmed that moment, and I'm really happy I did. Yeah,
I'm jealous.
Kevin's got that. Just wow.
Yeah, really great. And then our actress that plays Merle, I mean, she was just incredible. So, you know, I think that we have such a phenomenal cast on this. Taryn, and it's her directorial feature debut. She did such a great job. I'm overly impressed, and she's super excited to be a part of the Passionflix family. She's dedicated to the mandate and the story. She's very communicative with Jennifer Armentrout and me, and she wants to make sure that she is doing justice to the story and to Passionflix. So I just know the fans are going to love it. It's great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, I know it kind of, just to let our fans know, because normally by the time we see the movie, we're a little bit closer in the process to the film coming out. But with Wicked, we do have a little while to go still, right? Can you talk a little bit about that and what needs to be done?
Yeah, so basically, because of how many visual effects are in Wicked, because obviously Tink is tiny and has wings, and people burst through doors and other worlds, and you know, creatures disappear, things like that. And the Fae look different. The visual effects on this particular movie will probably take about 2 months. And so because visual effects take so long, so about 8 weeks, let's say. So once we've locked a picture, we then send it to the VFX house. They spend 8 weeks working on all these designs, you know, creating a look, sending it back to us for review, seeing how it fits. And then after that, we can start with music and sound, which takes another 6-7 weeks on a rush. And then it'll take another, you know, 2 weeks or so to do subtitles, and a week to do QC. So it takes time to complete everything. And there are situations when you can try and overlap those things, but it never works out as well as it could. It just sort of like, you know, you don't want to build the roof of the house before you build the house.
Yeah, not the cart before the horse kind of thing. It's good to get in the process. Yeah.
So you know, we're still looking at a summer release for Wicked. If we can release it earlier, we will. I'll know more once it's in the hands of the VFX house, and we see, you know, how the looks are going back and forth. But I would imagine it's going to be early summer.
Great. Right. I can't wait.
Early midsummer, something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah. It's good. I'm so excited for our first sort of action paranormal. It's so.
I know.
Yeah, me too.
It's different. It's fun.
It's awesome.
But otherwise, I was making the sequels to Driven.
I was gonna say, can you talk about Fueled and Crashed? Give us a little blow by blow, because that's what you were filming right before Christmas, correct?
Yep.
Yeah,
we did 2 seasons.
Sorry?
2 seasons at once.
2 seasons of a series, and so it will be a series, everyone. The first season will be Fueled, and the second season will be Crashed.
Can we ask how many episodes so that fans know?
It's currently 6.
Got it.
Yeah, and we'll release them as they are finished. So I mean, that's what our intention is. So so they may not all drop at once, but we'll see how fast in the process we get, because I know that people are eager to get it, and we're eager for you to see it. So as we know more closer to the time, so Margie's still editing that. I haven't even had a look at the first cut yet, and that's as the director. So in the situation of a director's cut, so I'm supposed to get in there, then I'll work on it for 3 weeks, and then I show it to myself as the producer, I guess. And then I give myself notes. And then I show it to Lauren and Allie, and then they give us notes. And Michael, of course. And but yeah, so that experience was awesome. I mean, man, was it fun. And it was hard. It was really, really hard to shoot during COVID. I gotta tell you, it was very, at times it was a little scary. People were nervous. You know, you start off with this, we can do this, it's not a problem. We've got everything in hand, and then comes like, week 3 in the shoot, and you're like, I'm so tired, and mistakes are made, and did somebody touch this water? Am I allowed to touch this water bottle? Am I allowed to sit here? And because it's such a bizarre experience.
Your brain's hyperactive the whole time with all the other stuff on top of what you're doing directing wise. You're worrying about COVID. It's not a great.
You're worried about the fact, like, you can't get water out of a fridge for yourself, right? You have to go to somebody who has to put gloves on and then hand you a water bottle, and you can't do anything. And the amount of waste was insane. We were trying to figure out, how do we have reusable water bottles, but you're not allowed to because COVID. And I'm like, okay. So I would just have like this little container, and there would be some waters for me, and then they would have somebody come with 4 or 5 Starbursts and hand them to me, and I was like, okay, great. And my coffee, and I had a lot of coffee. It was great. It wasn't so bad. Made it. But the experience, I'm just like monologuing here, so ask it.
Great.
No, you're
good.
good.
I was gonna say, so season 2, which is based on Fueled, when do we see that premiering?
So I think that we have a very realistic chance of getting it out from May, which would be awesome, because that's when a lot of racing and events happen. So
yeah.
And
what about season 3? I guess that would be more depending on how long that cut takes.
Yeah. So season 3, I imagine, we're not working on season 3 at the same time. I filmed it because we wanted to get it in the can, because we didn't want to, risk a repeat of a situation. But also, we had a lot of kids and COVID and all these different things. So that's why a lot of reasons as to why we shot both of them at the same time, just so that we could have them both in the can. But Margie, who's our editor, likely won't have time to cut Crashed as well, because we have to move on to This Man.
Okay.
So we have a lot of other, and Rapture.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, we have to finish Rapture and then This Man. So Margie, the way that we've carved out the year for Margie, who edits these pictures, and then I direct them, these specific ones. She'll finish Fueled, then we'll finish Rapture, and then we'll finish This Man, and then we'll finish Crashed. So that's basically how we've carved out the year. So that's I'm like, man, that's pretty busy year.
Pretty busy year, but exciting, because those are great books.
Yeah. Can you tell us and tell everybody about your experience with Michael and Olivia?
So great.
Oh.
Well, Olivia, as we all know, is just, like this awesome kick-ass woman and actress, and fully prepared, knows Riley, the character, inside and out. She would come to me and she goes, okay, so I read the chapters of the book that all pertain to today's scenes, and these are the things that I feel were in the book. And just Tosca, just a reminder that in the book it was, he touched her cheek here, as opposed to in the script it's saying the shoulder. So what do you want to happen? I was like, oh, good catch there, let's make sure. And she was very specific and very helpful, and really went into it, delving into the character, the background for Riley, so she knew where she was coming from. And because that is so infectious, Michael did the same thing. And he's like, oh, really? I read the book you. And when I read it, this is my scene and this is how I'm feeling. And it was really quite cool to see Colton and Riley openly talking about their feelings, because it's written in the book. And I'm like, wow, I'm just watching Colton and Riley talking about where they're coming from in this particular scene, because they'd read it from the book. And then the two of them and myself, we just became like great friends. I mean, we were texting each other over the holidays and on Christmas and New Year's. And it's really wonderful when you end a movie with that kind of relationship. But the chemistry between Michael and Olivia is off the charts. It's fantastic. Awesome. And they were so they had so much fun. Like they really had so much fun. And then of course we had Bryce and Kenzie for Hattie and
oh my God. Can I just say, quick aside, that I'm very sad I wasn't on set this time, because I was with you. I was your second AD on Driven. So I got to know everybody and they're fantastic. And then I was just seeing you all having fun together and I'm just like, I'm too scared of COVID to be there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bryce was, Bryce and Michael have like this
funny
whole text chain going on.
That's amazing.
And then they just like loop Olivia in, but they don't talk to her at all. They just like have her CC'd on all of their conversations. And it's like super guy stuff. And she's like,
my God.
Girlfriend, that's on the text chain with the boys. That's really funny. And they were like, they're totally joking constantly with each other. And I think they really became great friends.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It felt very true to the characters' lives.
Nice. That's exciting. It's nice when it can parallel like that, you know? And that's the environment you create a lot on sets, T. It's just that like feeling of family and being together and you're all in it and doing the thing and it's great.
Yeah. There's this, so you guys remember Tyler Johnson, obviously.
Of course we remember Tyler.
So remember how he used to say that the guys who work on PassionFlix movies, it's like they've gone to the Tosca School of Gentlemen Callers.
Right, yeah. I remember we were going to try and do something with that.
Yeah, we were. At some point we will. Yeah, not spare time. And maybe at PassionCon, we'll bring some guys over.
There you go.
But anyway, so I told Michael about this at the beginning, because he's all like, and he knows this, so I think it's okay to say, but he's all like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll have a relationship, maybe I won't. And then I was like, okay, well, just, by the time you finish working with me, you'll probably end up moving in with somebody or getting married. That tends to be what happens after you work with me. Like all the guys that work with me, they have these extremely, they delve into their relationships, and then they move in with somebody, they have a serious relationship, they get married, they have children. I'm like, okay, good for you. I'm like, we have Johan, Tyler, Nick Bateman, David Gregory.
Oh yeah, he just got married.
Yeah, they all just get married right after work. All the guys, they always get married or move in with somebody or have a baby right after. I'm like, okay, good. Or they like make a serious breakup and a decision, this is not working for me. I really understand this now. And I'm like, okay, good. Any case, so at the end of it, he very openly claimed that he had gone to the Tosca School of Gentlemen Callers and feels that he was a graduate.
Wow. I guess this really is just a reflection of your directing style, right?
Well, you have to help these guys get in touch with their personal feelings.
That's fair. So, and I'm dying to know what scenes you're excited for everyone to see, because you were there every day as they were being filmed.
Wow, there are quite a few. I think the ones that I'm excited to see, the one that I'm a little nervous about are sex on sex.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
That was a very interesting experience to film that.
Yeah.
So that's that. But I think the scenes that I think are really exciting for me are all the St. Petersburg scenes. you know, at the end of the movie, when Riley goes to St. Petersburg and Colton confronts her, and then he's like, we've got to figure this out. And then he sits there and he tells her his story, and then, you know, the big line just before the crash, it's just so perfectly done. And we filmed it when we were shooting it, and we sent it to Christy, and she's like, oh my God, it's just how I imagined it.
Oh, that's satisfying.
Yeah.
That's
so I think that's what I'm really excited for people to see, you know, from the beginning, in Fueled. There's so many fun ones. There's so many great scenes. So I think.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Also, this is a random aside, but I love the show The Nanny. So that we got that brilliant actor from that show to be in. Exactly. I was like, I also didn't know. I was either oblivious. I put a cast list together for UT, and he either wasn't on it yet or I missed it. So when Allie dropped the news to everybody, I was like, what is this? Why did nobody tell me? Because that was very cool, because he's the perfect Colton dad in my eyes. Now that I see him there, it's going to be so cool to see all the new cast we've had with these upcoming series as well.
Yeah, and he's really great, so nice to work with. Like, you know, obviously an incredible professional, has been doing this for a long time. First choice of mine and Christy Bromberg's, and he said yes right away. So I was very excited about that.
That's great.
Yeah. He's so nice. He's so nice.
Oh, that's so good to hear. Yeah. I fangirled hardcore. I was like,
I mean, I was fangirling. I got to tell you, the first day that he came to set, I was like, don't be a fangirl. Don't be a fangirl. Hi, how are you?
He's so handsome. He's so handsome.
He's so handsome.
Yeah.
He's aged so well.
Yeah.
And Mona, that plays Dorothea in it, is so funny. Funny. Yeah. She was unexpected. She was delightful.
Delightful, really lovely, and just really played a great Dottie. Yeah. Also I was very happy to have her. She's a very talented woman. So
nice. And Tommy Hobson came back.
Of course. Love him. He's like a Passionflix staple. I mean, we have to have Tommy Hobson. Obviously he was so great. I mean, obviously working with Tommy is a pleasure, and then he'll come back in A Man's Promise again. So he's just like, you know, he's like in 2 series. He's navigating both sides.
Chosen both.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But now we're gonna have to get him in something of his own to play the lead of.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He's that Tommy. Keep your calendar open. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Sometime this year. No.
But soon, at some point.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
And so to switch from Fueled and Crashed, as exciting as it is, but on to Gabriel's Rapture, because we had Gabriel's Inferno release all this past year through COVID, which honestly, a lot of people reached out and they were like, this is kind of keeping me going. Like, thank you. Like, it was really nice that we had something we could release through all of this, because at that time we weren't making anything. So it was hard. But so now people are also dying for Gabriel's Rapture.
Forget we were doing all the podcasts during that time too. That's when we started doing our podcast. So and that's when Margie and I were editing, you know, on other sides of a room. Like, try not to be close to each other while editing. So Rapture, I think a lot of people might know that we have about 1/3 of it filmed already. We filmed it before February 7th of last year. Amazingly. So all the stuff that took place in Toronto, at the University of Toronto, that was all filmed.
Great.
What wasn't filmed was all the stuff that took place in Italy, because that was supposed to happen right afterwards, and we couldn't go to Italy.
The world kind of.
And all the stuff that happens in Massachusetts. So it is our hope and our intention to film in Italy in March. Okay. We are monitoring the situation day by day. They're still right now letting us in. And so it's just a matter of getting Melanie out of Australia, which is a little tricky, and getting us into Italy, which is currently in a state of emergency until April, and then filming there, right? But if we cannot film the Italy portion first, then we will shoot the Massachusetts portion first, because we can shoot in Georgia. We'll probably shoot it in Georgia, and then we'll shoot that that section of it, and then come back to the Italy portion maybe in the summer when things are better. But my hope is that we can go to shoot in Italy and then come back, film the Massachusetts part, and then at the very least have the first part of Rapture ready. I mean, fingers crossed by early fall. That would be an ideal situation.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, we're doing everything we can, and Melanie and Julia they're so adorable. I speak to them. I spoke to Melanie last week, and I WhatsApp Julia all the time. But they were already rehearsing. They were just connecting with each other and rehearsing, and so that's so nice.
Yeah. I can't wait.
I can't wait. Oh my God.
I know.
We were supposed to have finished Redemption by this March.
Great. Thanks, COVID.
We were supposed to be filming Redemption this March. That was our plan originally. And now everything's
the world got a little bit away from us.
And something for people to actually understand as well. So even though we can film in COVID to a certain degree in some places, it takes much longer. It's really hard, and it's much more expensive. So it's not that we can't actually make the same amount as we could before, or as fast as we could before. We are continuing to do everything we can, of course, but just if you guys could have a little bit of patience, we're also, dealing with COVID.
Because the cost of making sure we're COVID compliant on set is almost the cost of a movie itself, isn't it? I mean,
It's very expensive.
It's a lot.
I've had a lot of COVID tests. A lot of COVID tests.
Yeah, they're not fun tests.
They're not fun, but you kind of get used to it. So our nurse, our nurse came to set 3 times a week. And initially you're like, dreading it. And then we're just joking, like, have you had your nose poked? We're just like joking about it. And then you're just making sure that all your teammates have had their COVID tests. And you just walk up to the nurse and was like, hey, Irene, how you doing? She's like, which nostril? And you're like, you take your pick. Or it was Maria, sorry. Irene was our COVID officer, but Maria was our nurse. And so
she really got in there.
This one or this one, you change it up a little.
That's nice that you can change it up.
Yeah, right? Yeah, so we do it 3 times a week and sometimes more.
Yeah, fair. I think something that's really cool about the community we've built with our Passionflix fans and just this kind of rapport we have with them and doing podcasts or doing lives and stuff, they're kept in the loop enough to know that like we're doing everything we can. Yeah. And I think that's helpful because especially with other parts of Hollywood or bigger studios, you never know what's coming out until kind of right before it comes out. And we can at least warn people of like, this is what we're doing, things are coming. And it's just a whole process that usually takes longer. And we do it as pretty expedited by all standards.
Yeah, we are fast. Yeah.
And you mentioned this man briefly, and that's something ideally you'd like to do this year.
Yeah, this man.
The thing is, was our goal to make, our goal last year was to do Rapture, finish in Italy and the Massachusetts portion, then go and shoot this man, and then come back and shoot Redemption, right? And then we were doing a whole bunch of other movies as well, but those were in the this man Redemption world. Right after finishing Field and Crash, which was shooting in March. We were going to do 8 movies in 2020. We did 3. So this man is scheduled to shoot in July, August of this year.
Awesome.
And we can't get into the UK. I'm sure everyone's pretty well aware of things in the UK. We had planned, we were looking into Ireland. We're still looking at Ireland as another option. We can't go into Ireland right now. It is a slight possibility that we can go there in July. We're not entirely sure, so we're sort of playing that by ear. All that being said, I'm like, how do I build England in Georgia? so that's what I'm thinking. I'm pretty determined to make This Man this year. I mean, and I was so eager about it. I actually had the screenplay for Beneath This Man written. The first draft just came in yesterday.
Oh wow! Awesome.
So yeah, so I'm like, we're making it, and as soon as I have the final draft on Beneath This Man, we'll move on to the third book, and we are going to make them. And it's just so happens that, you know, these circumstances completely out of our control are happening that are preventing it, and unfortunately it takes place in the UK. So so right now I have visual effects people coming up with plans on how they can turn a soundstage into a manor. And and I mean, like for example, the Bridgerton series on Netflix, super fun to watch. So many visual effects. I mean, the whole thing is just like all visual effects, the whole thing. And people were fine with it. They didn't. I don't know if most people noticed or knew that it was so many visual effects, but I mean, the whole thing is just like visual effects.
Yeah, they had to recreate Regency London, so they did what they had to do.
Now, obviously, they have like $50 million per episode or something ridiculous like that, and we do not. But we can still create the mana, and you know, with our production design team, we can certainly build a lot of the things that happen in the mana. They built everything for Gabriel's Inferno, so I have faith that they can build.
Right.
You know, for This Man, it's just going to take time, and we just have to find a place to do it, and likely it'll be Georgia. If we cannot, again, this is if we can't get into UK.
I was gonna say, who knows? Maybe by summer we'll be good to go, and
exactly.
Gotta have some
we don't know what vaccines are being released now, so we don't know what's coming, but we're just paying attention to everything that's going on and trying to move forward as safely.
Making a backup plan. Yeah.
Exactly.
I like it. Battle plans. I have 3 battle plans for This Man. So,
it's getting done.
It's getting done.
We'll shoot it in Tosca's house.
Come on over, guys.
People should know this about Tosca. She'll have a whiteboard with like 3 different lists or 4 different lists of like, okay, this is how we can do that. She'll have a big calendar. It's all, you know, and Post-its.
Yeah, the colored Post-its.
To move around. We did a lot of Post-it moving this year.
Yeah, but you can't write anything. Nothing can be like permanently written in. And so I'm like, all right.
Something. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I feel more confident about permanently writing in some things now that we've undergone, you know, 3 movies and the vaccine is rolling out.
Right, that's exciting. And what other films are we hoping to move forward with soon? Because I know a lot of people are. I think at some point we might be able to release a list of all the books that we have options, because I know we announce each one, but because there's some time between.
And also, if you go to our Instagram, we have one of our highlights is optioned, so we have them listed there, but we'll put out a list too for everybody to look at.
Yeah. Really excited to see what's coming up.
Yeah, we have a lot, you know. Obviously we want to do A Man's Promise, we want to do Resisting Roots, we need to do Royally Screwed, we need to do Tangled, we need to do
Seduction and Snacks.
Seduction and Snacks. We need to do Sugar Daddy, Fighting to Breathe, Amy Benson series,
Beauty series.
I love it.
Beauty with Pain. Sorry, yes, Lick.
There's so many.
I know. I mean, like, I normally have this whiteboard right next to my desk in my office, and I look at those names every single day, and I'm like, where can I shoot that? How can I shoot it? When can I shoot it? You know, what city are we going to be in? What's the weather? You know, because it's also like we're like, okay, let's make Seduction and Snacks. Nope, we can't. It's winter.
Right.
It's not a winter movie. All right, let's make. And so it just, you know, let's make this movie. Oh, we can't. It's severe COVID. Okay, let's do like constantly And I'll randomly send Lauren an email as soon as I find out there's like some shutdown in some area that we were planning on going to. I just send her an email. I'm like, okay, what movie can we do that takes place in this other area now? And then she'll just send me a list of movies that we have that we can shoot immediately. Well, not immediately, the scripts aren't written, but yeah, we're constantly just staying on our toes.
Yeah, for sure. But that's awesome.
Yeah, but there are so many that we'll make this year given the opportunity.
And more to come in future years too.
Of course, yes. We have 34 books optioned.
Yeah, lots to do. I love it.
Yeah.
34. It's gonna be good.
It's very exciting. It's been so good to see you guys.
Yeah, it's been great. And I'm excited that we're back at it with PassionPod.
I know, season 2 of PassionPod. I was missing this.
I know.
Too.
I look forward to talking to some of the authors as well that are coming through. Oh
Yeah.
We should probably collect our actors from the various movies as well and bring them out.
Oh, yes.
Definitely.
Yes. Lots of good ones coming up.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Wonderful.
Yeah. All right.
Great.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And if you have any questions or concerns, please drop them in the comments below or shoot us a message and we'll try to address them. And thank you for being amazing fans. And we hope you stay happy and healthy in this new year as well.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.